And we've stepped through the door to the point of no return, and this entire level is just filled with pits. Just filled with them. And that's actually really good for us. Because unless we're terrible, and I mean terrible, at basic platforming, we can just hurl our enemies down there. You do have to jump a lot later than you think you would when you try to platform, though. That's important to note. This last area is obviously some kind of gauntlet to exhaust you before the final battle. And it worked a lot when I was a kid. That one always surprises me. Obviously, we don't want to get knocked off the pit ourselves, but unless we're completely careless, that's probably not an issue. But yeah, this entire level is basically just everybody you fought so far, but with pits. No matter how low you are on magic, I believe there are enough gnomes here to get you up to full, regardless of which character you're playing as. I can't speak for multiplayer, though. We don't actually have to fight any of those neat-looking pig enemies on the back wall there. Some statues come alive, though. Hey, you remember these guys? Well, here they are again. I actually really like their... We want to get behind them so we can knock them off the pit. I actually really like this enemy's name. His name is General Bitter. And the other variants of him, I believe, were Sergeant Bitter and Lieutenant Bitter. So we're going to use the normal tactic we use on regular enemies to get them into the pit, which is kind of risky, but it paid off. And now it's time to fight Deathbringer. And, like Death Adder, you might think, well, we should get rid of his skeletons first, but that's not going to happen. His skeletons are, in fact, entirely invincible. And as you might imagine, that makes this boss fight a living hell, because trying to get alone time with Deathbringer is almost impossible. We can trap him up against the left wall like we do Death Adder, but he eventually moves away from it. This is where we'll be dealing the most damage to him, though. Thankfully, his AI has this problem. We can still do damage to him while he's outside of his glitch zone, the same way we would with the shield enemies. But of course, the skeletons are gonna just gang up on us, no matter what we do. If you played the rest of the game smart, though, you should have more than enough lives to deal with this, even if you just completely cheese it. So something kinda sadistic about Deathbringer is that not only are his attacks devastating, but if we get knocked down by them, he casts magic on us, while we can't move. So of course the solution here is just to not ever get hit by Deathbringer at all. The magic he uses is the same magic we would use on him. He has a separate attack for Gilius, Axe Battler, and Tyrus. We can use the same strategy on him as we do with normal enemies, but that can be kind of difficult because he will smack us out of the air. If we don't time it just right. Yeah, like that. This boss fight, I imagine, completely devastated many children who played this game. It's actually intensely painful to get through if you don't know how to tackle it. I do always find that Deathbringer has less health than I expect, though. It's still a lot. But my trauma from playing this boss fight as a kid must have left a longer impression than I anticipated. We used another continue, but we still have a whole nother to work with, and, well, he's almost dead. Like, one more hit. We did it! So that was Golden Axe, and it is super fun. It's one of the earliest beat-em-ups. It came out around the same time as the original Final Fight. It's very fondly remembered, but didn't have as much influence on the genre as its contemporaries. The difficulty can be kind of monstrous if you don't think outside the box, but you do still have to use 3D movement to your advantage, and I am 100% behind that. I hope everyone had fun, and enjoy the credits.